Hi guys, Itoro here, and I haven't been completely honest with you. Before I tell you, let me take this off so that you will see my eyes and not the reflection of my ring lights. So I haven't been completely honest with you guys. The reason I created this page was so that I could share my journey through advertising and marketing and everything I do in there, what it's about, what it entails, the struggles, and basically everything about it. But I haven't really been putting out what it's about, and right now I feel like this is the best time to let you guys in on everything it entails, because the following week, like the week that is coming, is going to be very, very, very hectic. I would say hectic for me because I have a lot of presentations coming on, and projects, seminars, case studies, and they are actually very interesting if you think about it. So, and I'm like, why am I depriving you guys of this kind of information, of this kind of entertainment? So, without further ado, I'll let you guys in on what I'm going to do. I was told that advertising and marketing would require a lot of effort and a lot of energy, so many presentations. Well, I think I would have believed, but I wouldn't have looked at it from the perspective that I am actually enduring it from. The reason being is that I always saw advertising and marketing communications as creating ads, digital marketing, social media management, and all that. But of course, with theory always comes with practical always comes the theory part. Am I getting that right? Like, there always has to be the historical aspect, like the written aspect where you have to read, and then there's always the practical aspect. So now, because of time, I feel like because of time, we have done only the written aspect, and the practical aspects are what we're supposed to have been doing so that the knowledge about the advertising would have stuck. So through my year one, we did some presentations. We were able to do a campaign for different brands. My group worked with phone brands. We were able to do a consumer behavior analysis about why people choose certain phone brands, what particular phone brands do students like me use on the campus or off campus, the reigning phone, and why, price related issues, quality, those kind of things. So we found out that as of that time, it was either itel or Redmi that was the most used phone, and I'm speaking like Nigeria, like my location, Akwa Ibom State. Yes. So iPhone was actually a very, very rare phone, but I still saw people who said, that the price was not a problem for them. They just wanted quality, so they go all out. I mean, this is what I want, and I'm going to work towards it. I want it because of the camera, all that. Yeah. Another presentation we did was also on consumer behavior analysis, where we went about asking people why they prefer maybe Golden Mon to other cereal, and they're like, because Golden Mon goes way back, and even if you haven't known about Golden Mon before, because of people refer the product, people love the product, so it has grown through time. So basically, which brings me to year 2, and what we're currently doing is we've been asked to do the history and brief history, introduction, SWOT analysis, the brand mission, vision, values, the target audience, the competitors, about particular brands, and my brand happens to be Colgate Palmolive. And when I saw that, I was like, is there a mistake somewhere? Because why are you giving me Colgate Palmolive? It's Colgate that I know. It's Colgate that everybody knows. And then the first thing that came to mind when I heard Colgate was, toothpaste. But then again, I found out that it's not only toothpaste. And I had to go and do my research, of course, because I'm straight A student and I want to keep being an A student. So I had to do my research, and that brings me to the introduction to Colgate. Just from the top of my head, I'm just going to go like a summary of everything. Colgate was founded it all began in 1806 by a man named William Colgate, and he was an immigrant who came to, I think he was from England, and he came to New York, in United States, and so he founded a soap and candle company. Yes, I was also shocked when I found out that Colgate was actually a soap and candle company. Like, how does it even relate to toothpaste? But as I continued to read, I found out that that was it, and he worked for somebody, or actually, who owned a soap factory, and the person encouraged him and was encouraged by others to give back to the community. He was a very devout Christian who loved to give to charity, who loved the way of God. So every profit he made, he always found a way to give back to the church, or to give back to God, in a sense. So his business flourished and all that. I think the person that had the company passed away, or maybe left it in his maybe in his name. So he carried on the legacy of that company, and he grew, and he named it William Colgate. William Colgate. Then from then on, it became William Colgate and Company. Then it thrived. Yes, it thrived because as of that time, the concerns were hygiene. You get like the soaps, they needed to wash their clothes and being able to be clean, and the candles were used for scents as well. So along the line, William died, and Samuel Colgate, and Samuel was more modernized. He came from this modern perspective. He didn't want to just be confined to the soap and candle, business, which was reigning as of that time. So he broke out and he diversified, and that was when he found out that oral hygiene was actually a problem too, not only body odor and stuff like that. Oral hygiene was actually a problem too. People were having cavities and brown teeth or tooth and stuff like that. So he now started producing toothpaste, and it actually progressed. Like, it thrived very well. But as of that time, he was selling the toothpaste in jars, like these glass jars. It wasn't even paste, it was powder form. Like, imagine dipping your toothbrush. They did not even have toothbrush that time. They did not have toothbrush. I think they were using sticks and maybe their fingers, and I don't know. But it was powdery. So it was in a glass jar, and then imagine you like just dipping something in there, and then it wasn't working out. So he decided to borrow, or should I say copy, the artist's way of preserving paint, because artists use collapsible tubes. The normal toothpaste we see today, that's what artists were using to preserve or put their paint in. That's how they got their paint. So they were like, oh, let's adopt this method, so let's put this into that. Story short, Colgate was put into this kind of tube, and then it was formed into the paste form that we know, and then the part of the Palmolive. The Palmolive started around 1806 too, and I think by a B.J. Johnson. Yes. So Palmolive Company was actually based in personal care, personal hygiene. They were also a soap company. Yeah, they were also a soap company as of that time. So because of how much they invested in this particular soap called Palmolive, made from palm oil and olive oil. Yes, so it became very successful to the point where they had to change the name from BJ Johnson, maybe BJ Johnson Company, to Palmolive Company. So now everybody now knew every soap that comes out from there is called Palmolive. And so, they were very successful, just like Colgate. So they decided to merge, I think in 1928, decided to bring a merger. There was a merger between Colgate and Palmolive. Colgate made toothpaste, oral hygiene. Palmolive made soaps, speed sticks, even pet nutrition was there. I think they have this Hugh Science pets nutrition something. Hugh Science diet. Then they also have pet nutrition. So they dealt in personal hygiene, while Colgate dealt in oral hygiene. So bringing them together to form Colgate Palmolive now made it a very multinational company that that had so many varieties of consumer goods and services, like anything you could think of in the oral or hygiene or personal hygiene section. Like, they were able to produce those products for consumer needs. And well, that's about as far as my summary can go. So basically what I'm expected to do is to have this in my head, which I've just been able to recollect and tell you guys. Then I'm also supposed to do brand a t-shirt. I'm going to show you guys the t-shirt, and I'm going to have it probably by next week, Tuesday. Brand a t-shirt, then we'll have a presentation, and then that's all. And the course is called brand development. I should have mentioned this at the beginning, but it's called brand development. So Colgate, if you're watching this, I am going to be in charge of branding and maybe rebranding your brand. Yeah, I'm like a brand ambassador. So if you could sponsor my video, it would be very much appreciated. I mean, the stress, the struggles, everything that comes with it. So I'm going to show you guys my presentation. I'm going to rehearse with you guys. It's a journey that I want to have with you. I don't want to do this on my own, because I also need assistance and guidance as an upcoming brand strategist, social media manager, an advertiser and marketer, basically. So brand ambassador. So you guys, thank you so much for watching. This is my official YouTube page, Itoro Usoro, and I would love it if you guys follow my page and grow my page or my channel for me and with me. So thank you once again for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.